times in life when you have to try something you've never tried before. Today, I'm referring specifically to her. Harley-Davidson Sportster Iron 883 from 2009. And here we have the owner, Ricardo, who also has a YouTube channel called Noise 883. We lacked imagination, so we just combined everything.
Very good.
Noise, I guess because of the sound of the motorcycle that we'll hear in a moment. But tell me a bit more about this Harley in detail. Remember, he's from Florence, so I'm excited to try his motorcycle in today's test. Also because, as we said off camera, today I'm starting out skeptical. I mean, I've never tried a Harley before. I was supposed to try one in America, but in the end, I didn't. And describe it in detail. What features does it have or lack? What did you do? And let's explore it together.
As a bike, it is an extreme, unlike some Sportsters that are truly unbelievable. I lowered the front suspension by about 5.5 centimeters to match the lowered rear and added an open exhaust and air filter. So unfortunately, the fuel consumption increases a bit. It's a bike that uses a lot of fuel. If you open the throttle, it goes down to 14 kilometers per liter. Screaming Eagle add-on engine control unit. I adjusted engine braking and tweaked remapping for better results. It's to avoid major flat spots in throttle response, though some remain. Ultimately, it's about aesthetics. Then we changed things. I raised the fuel tank, moved the cables, and relocated the speedometer down to the lower left. So you can't see it, you have to lean forward a bit. Grips, I raised the handlebars. It's all just aesthetics. When it comes to the engine, here's the exhaust, the filter, the suspension. As for the chassis, let's say, but for the rest, it's still the same bike.
Perfect. So let's say we have a slightly modified base, but we'll take a look at it together. So I'd say let's roll the intro. And in the meantime, I'll get dressed. Because while you're watching the intro, I'll get dressed and we'll see each other on board the bike. Do you want to do it?
You're down there checking the catch. All set.
So he says I'm there, but I'm not there at all. Guys, I am. So I'm telling you, let's see if Ricardo's bike will change my mind about Harleys today. I'll say it now, Ricardo. Don't kill me, Harleys in Italy.
That's not true.
Let's begin. Ricardo, I'm speaking to you directly. I'm clear and transparent, but I'll be as neutral as possible and set aside my preconceptions. Let's turn it on. I've already done it here. Here it is. Run! But is it safe?
Absolutely safe.
Absolutely safe. I just noticed things moving over there.
I can't tighten this one. It's self-tapping. It's self-tapping. It doesn't stay like this. It's defective. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
This one has 20,000 kilometers.
Guys, honestly today, aside from the heat, I'm putting myself in the shoes of a typical Harley rider who of course has his arms out, gloves, or actually he shouldn't even have gloves. Maybe just those gym gloves with the fingers cut off, rings, stuff like that, and so on. Exactly, but first... Come on, let's move this big tractor. Mom, why did I even do this today? Are the documents in the seat?
Damn, wait a second.
Here we go, we're off to a great start. Let's try to make a nice U-turn right away. Here, the Panda definitely won't stop. Clearly, this guy is stopped. He's on his phone. Oh, good morning. Guys, today the test ride will be special. It will be different from usual because it won't be very technical, but more of a personal review. I mean, I'll tell you about my experience with the Harley, with this Sportster that, as you heard from the beginning of the video, is quite modified. Not extreme, but pretty modified. Let's begin, as usual, with riding comfort. I'll tell you that Ricardo removed the foot pegs that characterize it as a Sportster, because on this icon from Milwaukee, the Sportster is a bike that's named for the rider's forward-leaning position, but that's not the case here. We're going back to creating a classic Harley setup. So you're nice and comfortable in the saddle. The foot pegs are forward, the seat is comfortable, it's well padded, absolutely. With your legs, you're nice and sprawled out like this on the couch. The sound, I have to say, isn't bad, huh, guys? Yes, I was talking about you, but don't be upset. The brake pad noise wasn't reassuring, but let's keep testing. A mirror that doesn't reflect. I see the license plate, and as for using it in Rome, I can tell you that in the configuration Ricardo chose, it's really super uncomfortable. When it comes to potholes, you feel every single one. But back to us, the fact that there's no instrument panel in front of me really impresses me. I have to look down to the lower left, and the instruments are clearly analog. There aren't many vibrations on the handlebars, but it depends on the revolutions per minute range you're in. Going over potholes is really something terrible. In fact, I keep my butt well away from the tank to protect my family jewels. At the traffic light, we find a moment of calm. With this engine, the bike is stopped, but the engine and wheels are still surprisingly mobile. In the end, aside from this bit of skepticism I have to say it's not bad. I'm really trying to understand why a Harley rider is a Harley rider and why they're so attached to this company from Milwaukee. We all know that Harley-Davidson isn't going through a good time.
Right now, it's almost on the verge of bankruptcy.
Because their audience is generally older people. They don't have much generational turnover, and that's why, clearly, sales are dropping sharply. But on top of that, you also have to consider the fact that Harley hasn't updated itself in a long time. And so the combination of these two things has led Harley-Davidson into some difficult times, which we hope it will overcome. Because whether you like it or not, Harley is always a part of motorcycle history. And seeing a company shut down is never a good thing. But now that we've finished talking about that, I'd say let's move on to the topic of the engine. I'm not discussing electronics today since this 2009 bike doesn't have any, not even ABS. Just to give you an idea, this V-twin engine doesn't put out a lot of horsepower. I think it's around 50 with about 70 Newton meters of torque. Here is a nice air filter visible. I have to say it gets a bit in the way when riding because as you can see, your foot is a bit cramped. It's a little tight. On the left side, instead of the gear shifter, we don't find anything and you can shift quite comfortably. All the gears engage correctly. The only thing to note is that the bike, it doesn't have brakes. To stop, you have to throw out the anchor and at least downshift one gear so that the engine brake of this V-twin 883 gives us that safety when stopping and that ability to stop actually. It's clearly a flashy bike, guys, so when you ride it, people usually tend to turn around either to tell us off because of the noise it makes or to admire it. There are two situations. But I have to say that being on it isn't bad. I mean, it's cool setting aside all its other flaws. The footboards vibrate a lot, but honestly, it's not annoying. The strange thing, though, is that on the seat, magically, there are very few vibrations and it's comfortable, you feel good. But I think the answer I'm looking for about why a motorcyclist becomes a Harley rider has to be found in the emotion, maybe the emotion that Harley gives you. A bit like with the 1098, you know, there are better ones. You know, it's a bike that's limiting in some ways, but you still keep it with you. So really, guys, I mean, I'm asking you too in the comments, maybe without insulting me, let's start a creative discussion. Try to help me understand your point of view about Harleys. And if you own a Harley, let us know. Because I'm definitely not the only one who thinks this way about why you fell in love with Harleys. I brought you today's test drive because fundamentally I'm not a hypocritical person. I've always told you guys, don't talk about things you've never tried. And in today's test, I cleared up the doubts and concerns I had. That said, guys, I think we can return the bike to the owner. I'll leave you space in the comments to go wild and try to explain to me the reason for these Harleys. And what do you think about it? As usual, leave a nice like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. That's all from Freccia Verde. Thanks again, Ricardo, for coming here to Rome from Florence. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
What's the first word that comes to your mind? The first one?
Why?
No, come on, no, why?